trying to do. And I'll probably stop talking there. But yeah, so again, I don't know much about it. So if you want to maybe overview, it would be great for me. I don't know if the other guys are already familiar. You can keep it really brief.
Well, it's gonna be really brief because I don't really know anything about it.
Okay.
All I know is I would say it's very similar to the serial disk server type of thing.
Yeah.
So you can plug this FujiNet device into like they have them plugging into Ataris and Apples and the people made different hardware.
Yeah.
Um, and there's a protocol. The host computer sends a command and says either like send me a disk block or send this out this serial port or do whatever. And
Yeah.
then the FujiNet does what it does, but it has the Wi-Fi in it and things, so your disks can be mounted on a server somewhere else. And I can't remember they use a certain server protocol, TNSF or something.
Oh,
Uh,
no, it wasn't. Yeah, it was something like that. It was Trivial File Network Transfer or something, as I remember mentioning. It was I can't remember the acronym. I was thinking TFTP, but that's not it.
yeah, I think it's TNS. You can install your own little TNSF server.
Yeah.
And then it just accesses disks over. I mean, you could connect the disk images here at my house.
Yeah.
So I think it works with HTTP and a whole bunch of things. You can just grab disk images from places, and
Oh wow!
but there's no S100 hardware for it.
It looks like there's some. So I'm looking at the GitHub right now. There's a nice little GitHub for FujiNet Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it has Gerber files for like RS-232 units, and
that's the one that just came out with. It just came out with an RS-232 unit.
Yeah.
And I think they have a DOS BIOS kind of working with it for starters. So I thought, well, shoot, I already have a ESP32 with a serial port on it. But I used I think it's a small one. There's not a lot of flash on it. And so when I just said, hey, compile the RS-232 version and put it on my ESP32, it said, eh.
Yeah.
It seems to me that it's more for gamers. It doesn't. I've tried several times to get more information and offered to help build an S100 board for it, and I only get Tom. What is it, Cherry Home or whatever his last name is? He tells me, well, they're working on it and all this and that, but I don't know if you can get access to files. I think it's only for disk images, because I've asked that several times and I've yet to get an answer.
He's done a couple of demo videos on YouTube, and it shows them using it. I think he was on either an Atari or a Commodore, and it was like going to a server somewhere else and downloading the game, and then he could play the game. Then he could go up and download another file of some sort.
But again, I think that's disk images. I don't think that's individual files. I've never gotten an answer.
Interesting.
I started looking at the protocol briefly, and it looks like it supports block devices, character devices, files, printer, parallel ports, serial ports.
Yeah.
So
block devices block devices would let us emulate disk drives.
Correct.
Right. And I'm looking at the hardware. There's a RC 2014 board as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was going to do. Is I was going to take the 2014 version and move it over to the S100 bus, because it's really easy.
Yeah, I would think so. Looking at it here, it looks like it should be, I won't say fairly straightforward, but not too bad.
I think the hardware is the easy part. It's the software that's going to be the harder part.
I was all gung-ho for it because I've been trying for a while to figure out a way to share files among, my dozen CPM machines.
Right.
But I got a big yawn from the group. Nobody but Tom would ever answer or say anything to me. And, again, I cooled off quite a bit because the lack of interest. They say, they'd love to have the S100 bus, but then when you ask them, more details about it, they say, "Oh well, we're not ready for that yet." So
Yeah, I think he's still working out bugs on all the other computers.
yeah, I'd love to be able to do that.
Well,
Yeah, I'm definitely interested. So, and like I said, I've started digging into it.
if he's got it running on the 2014, 2014s usually run CPM, right? So there
Yeah.
must be some CPM applications out there that can talk to this, or some work. Well, it would be BIOS work basically. It would be an extension to the BIOS probably, um, just like writing the BIOS for a disk controller or something.
Yeah.
It's not horrendous. It's
Well,
usually more than a
I'm
couple
all for
hundred lines of
helping with
code.
I'm all for helping with hardware.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little, the site is definitely not oriented towards those of us who yeah,
It is
are in the
not.
same space.
For people that want to add a new
Right.
platform,
Yeah.
you really need to dig to find information
Right.
and look at the source and
It's odd. The presentation I watched, like there was VCF, one of them. They might have been west or out towards the coast there. I don't know, but they sound like they're looking for people. Please
Yeah.
contact us. But that's different.
Well, I know he was at Tom was at VCF this last VCF Midwest a month or so ago because I
Yeah.
think he and Jeff and a couple others talked a little bit about it.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay.
It really would be nice.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome.
God, this guy is really good at hiding everything in his GitHub.
oh, absolutely. No, it's
I mean, there's a
Sorry.
reference on the first page to FujiNet CPM tools, but I've yet to find out where the hell they're hiding.
yeah.
I think those are for the is it the 2014 or the serial?
They're probably for the 2014, and they might be for the serial as well. But if they're for the serial, if the source code's available, then it's not really a lot of work to get a serial driver of some sort to talk to any serial port you want. That's one of the first things you learn is how to write code to talk to a serial port. So,
that'd be a fun project, I think.
yeah, yes, I'm looking at this and going, oh, there's a few hours of my life that are about to get sucked. Oh, yeah.
Well, if a few of us all email them, about the project, maybe it'll get them interested in
Right.
putting some, giving us a start.
Yeah, I mean, once we understand the protocol, writing some code to talk to it and then patching that into your BIOS, it's not a horrendous thing to do. I mean, it's been a long time since I've written a BIOS from scratch, but geez, I don't remember it being that horrendous.
And then we already kind of have a serial CPM written,
Exactly.
that Mike Douglas wrote.
Right.
Yeah.
The protocol's different.
Yeah.
See, and those are things that he might not realize that there is a serial CPM already.
Yeah.
Like Douglas.
Well, he knows. He knows. I talked to him, or I emailed him back and forth about it.
Oh, okay.
The impression I get is whenever you ask him very many questions, he points to the GitHub and he says, all the documentation is there."
Yeah. Like I said, this is I think my first dive or my third dive into FujiNet, and every time I get into it, I just like, oh my, it's so frustrating to find anything.
Yes.
I gotta go do something else.
Maybe we could work internally and see if we can help each other figure out the documentation or something.
Mm-hmm.
Each of us work on a section or something, because it definitely would be worth doing.
I think so.
Oh, there is actually, wow. There is an S100 listing here on currently supported platforms.
Yeah, it's blank.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Okay, because it says FujiNet-S100-B1-8 megabyte S100 prototype, custom prototype. So probably
it's a placeholder.
Yeah, I think it's a placeholder for somebody.
or it's a wire
probably
wrap
for
board.
Terry there when he contacted him. Let me put this out there. You know.
Yep.
Uh,
Oh, God. But this does look fascinating. Yeah.
yeah. Well, I'm willing to help. I'm not sure how much help I would be. I'm still kind of new at a lot of this stuff, but you know, I, it sounds like a fun project. You know.
Once upon a time, all of us were new at this stuff. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Not embarrassed about it. You know.
Yeah, the serial port would be probably the easiest one to emulate because then
right.
you
Yeah.
don't worry about the S100 bus at all. But
Right.
I
And
was thinking of dumping it on an S100 bus board, and actually, it wouldn't be too hard to design a board that does that.
right. But yeah, but I mean, the board itself is basically just going to look like a couple of ports, usually a single port in and out with, status or maybe a status port. So what, two
Right.
ports? So it's going to look like a disk drive to the BIOS. So you're just going to have to write some basic BIOS extensions. If you use the serial version, yeah, Mike's serial CPM would probably make it even easier to start because he's already done all the how do I talk over a serial port to a disk drive?
And
Yeah.
Patrick, you said you got it burned onto an ESP32, but it was just too small.
Yeah, I finally installed because I've never worked with what's that thing, Platform IO,
Yeah.
and I've never used the Expressive tools and and all that stuff. So I got all that installed on my Mac, and I got it to compile. And then when I told it to upload, it said, no, mine's not big enough. I have an S3 somewhere um, that I can get wired up. But I was hoping it would fit on my little because I already changed. I knew I was gonna maybe do something like this down the road with the FTC Plus. So the last version, you can now control DTR and get like a mode. I think I put DCD in there,
Mm.
um, so you can do some of that with it. But it's just too small. But I haven't looked at the source. There's like a list of features you can support, and I think they're all in there. And I'm just gonna like get it knocked down to like a block device and then see if it would fit. Otherwise, yeah, I gotta put a breadboard together and
Yeah. I got
and
about a dozen S3s laying around with various other John Monahan and other projects. I could
Mhm.
probably whip one together pretty easily. In fact, I think I've got a
Yeah.
couple of John Monahan's breadboards that already have the port decoding built onto them at the bottom.
Oh yeah. I think I got one of those too somewhere. And I
Yeah.
have little, converters to get the RS-232 working and all that stuff. So
I might work on that when I'm getting totally frustrated with FPGA crap.
then you can get frustrated with trying to find FujiNet info.
Well, if I I wasn't thinking of that. I was thinking of just building a hardware.
Oh, gotcha.
Hmm. Ay, ay, ay.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. Well, that sounds like definitely interesting. So again, like I said, I didn't even pick it up. But you're kind of watching videos and stuff. You come across different things. That's not something I don't think I've heard anything of. So um, definitely interesting.
Hmm.
And I hope they keep going because I think I have an Atari 400 up on eBay that I've been trying to sell for like 3 months now. It runs. I mean, I can't. Obviously it's untested but I think I show a video of it actually saying, "Hello world" and its little loop. But
Hey,
no interest.
oh, that's too bad.
Yeah, it's all right. It'll
Well,
sell sooner or later.
there's about 1,000 of them for
Yeah, I
sale.
yeah, I know.
And,
You
and
know,
and you know the day that we get FujiNet working and you want to attach it to FujiNet, somebody will buy it. So we should work fast so you can sell it quickly.
Oh, there, yeah, yeah. That's a No, it's all right. I mean, again, I think the problem is when I listed it, buyer pays shipping, and I think the problem is the weight of the package is making the shipping unreasonable for that item. I got to go back and see if I can repackage it lighter, or maybe remove. I included a cassette player because everybody has to have a cassette player, with their computer. I think that I love the cassette player with this stuff. It reminds me of back when I was a kid. So.
Hmm.
Um,
It
you
can't be
know,
any heavier than a couple 8-inch disk drives.
Oh
There you
God,
go.
no, no. But those USPS it hits you a lot for things these days. It seems so.
I know. I
That's,
just sent a
that's
7-pound box to Walt,
yeah.
and it's like $100,
Wow.
Yeah, yeah.
and that was USPS.
Yeah,
Oh, that was
yeah.
FedEx.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, FedEx. That's
FedEx.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
The
they
post office wouldn't.
the
Post office
tracking
wouldn't.
says the tracking says they're going to deliver it by 9 p.m. today,
Oh,
but
good.
it's in Plano, Texas.
Oh,
So yeah, I've pretty much given up shipping stuff USPS. They're so
Yeah.
messed up.
Well, usually USPS gets stuff to me quick, whereas
Yeah.
UPS and FedEx, they usually take an extra week to do stuff.
Yeah.
I can ship stuff to Europe in less time than I can ship it to like Walt.
Yeah.
That's
we have we have a lot of people on Nextdoor complaining about the post office delivering to the wrong address and never getting stuff. And this includes important stuff like insulin pumps
oh
Yeah.
and other things.
Yeah,
Yeah,
here it's
we're
That's
at
had
not
the
good.
we got temporary mail service here. It's a different guy every day.
oh
And
wow.
so they get it in the wrong mailboxes sometimes. But
yeah.
that wouldn't be so bad if people would just go, "Oh, this is not for me." Just put it on top of the mailboxes since it's indoors, and we could find it. But they don't. Well, half the people here just throw it in the trash.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Has you ever had something come and get to the town just next to you before to get delivered to you, and then turn around and go back, 75% of the way it came, hit a spot there, turn around and come back again, and I was just trying to get somebody to intercept it somewhere just so it wouldn't go back and forth. The person who shipped it put my label on one side, left an old label on the back side, so it kept
Yeah.
trying to go back and forth, and depending on which way the box landed on the carrier, it would flip it back and forth and a thing. And it wasn't. I can't blame USPS on that. I'm blaming the guy who shipped it. Honestly,
Yeah.
it was like ping pong. And the woman at our local, it's a small town, but at the local post office, she was really helpful. She said, "I see it, but I can't stop it there. But where it was." And she said, "Oh, do you want to spend $10 to stop it?" It's like, sure, if I have to. Well. Actually, I think it was one of those S100 cards that you have, Patrick. Sorry. Yeah, it was one of those. I got when I
Okay.
got it from the guy. Yeah, he had other ones, but he kind of then dropped off the. He stopped answering. I had another one that he was supposed to be sending me, and then he just dropped off the world. And I ended up doing an eBay like to get back money and stuff from him, and he just
Oh
stopped answering
no.
me. Yeah, it was too bad because he had a you had to kind of watch what he was shipping you because some things came like it looked like some school kids did the soldering, on it type thing. But otherwise, some of them were decent. At least one of those cards was from him. The other one, I can't remember which one. Probably whichever one is in worse shape was probably from him. Uh, I again, I just it stinks because I think I know he showed me pictures of other things he had and more SBC 200. I think he had a 200 card floating around, two or three of
Oh,
them. He
darn.
had them, So if I ever do, I tried to chat him a few times. If I ever do hear from him again, I'll let you know. But it's like buyer beware. That's all I'll say on that one. You know. Um,
I got lucky last year. A guy in Minnesota was selling S100 boards for under $40 each.
oh,
So I
cool.
bought almost every board he had. He had a lot of Chromebcos and
Yeah.
CompuPros and stuff like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. Oh, I did get my CompuPro Z80s CPU Zs working, both of them. So I figured out what that was.
Good.
Yeah, the one manual says uh, the dip switch when it's on is 1, and the other manual, the other piece of paper in there said when dip switch is on, it's 0. So I was, again, I had both information. So I'm sitting there looking at it, I was scoping it, and it came back that, and I said, geez, it looks like it kept going to, address 0. I said, that's what I have the prom address set to, but there is no prom on it. I had it set to disable the prom, but it was hopping to 0. So when I flipped it over to hop, I couldn't put it to the exact address because it was F800 for our monitor, and
Mm-hmm.
that only had 4 bits to set, so I can only do F000. But I set that, and friggin' darn thing worked. I was about to swear. Darn thing worked, and then I set the other card I had exactly the same. The others, because I had 2 of them, and it worked as well. So it worked as in I have Alt-Mon loading, and I'm able to like do dumps and stuff. I haven't tried booting anything on it or CPM, but it looks fat and happy right now. So I'm excited to have a couple more cards working. So yeah,
Good.
yeah, I was excited.
Hey, Patrick.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to look over this next week. I'll commit to looking this week and seeing how difficult it would be to build an S100 base board. And
Okay.
if it doesn't look too difficult, I'll build one for you and one for me if you can help with the software.
Oh, you bet.
And I just realized where I stopped looking at FujiNet was I was looking for the RS-232 version, and there were none available.
Yeah.
Now I see there's one guy in the United States, Moswald, that supposedly sells it, protected FujiNet RS-232, but it's $80. But when you go to try to buy it, it's protected, and it requires a password.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why anybody would.
Yeah, because I found I found a place selling them, and they said they're just out of stock, and sign up to our mailing list, and we'll let you know when we have them. But well, we'll see. Like I said, making one like they've made would be trivial. Putting in this 100 card would be a little more work,
Yeah,
but it's certainly doable.
and it would certainly be. I would think it'd be a little bit faster,
Oh, I would think so.
more than a little bit faster, because you're not using the serial interface.
Yep. Yeah, you need something that would run like at least like 768 or something.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it looks really interesting.
Okay.
Yeah. S100 FujiNet. And there's nothing there.
Really?
Yeah, it says S100-FujiNet-Quick Start-Guide. And then it says below that in small letters, working on a S100 card.
Well,
Yeah, I don't know who.
Oh, well.
That's quick start for them because you got to figure it out for them.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
wondering if is it worth trying to reach out to some of I don't know if any of the developers' names, like even the guy who says he has a card, try to reach out to them and kind of see if you can maybe bypass people to kind of get to some of the guys who are actually doing the coding and building. Kind of get some more information from them. Maybe they have some they can share.
Yeah.
Well, the only person I ever got an answer from was Tom Cherry Holmes.
Gotcha. Okay.
But yeah, if somebody else wants to do it, that'd be contact them. That would be great.
Well,
If we can
I think all of us should send an email to Tom Cherry Holmes and tell him, look, here's 5 people in a Zoom meeting discussing this as a project. And, he might see that there is an actual interest.
Yeah.
Oh, here's somebody our approach to phase 2 and an RP 2350 Raspberry Pi.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, the problem is, like you said, the documentation is all over the place. But yeah, I'll take a look at seeing what I could do. in the next week and make a solid commitment to do it or not do it.
Awesome.
I know it's been brought up by me and by others on the S100 computers group to do this. And I think most of the S100 group take one look at it, see it's primarily for games on Atoms and Ataris and Apples, and decide it's not worth it.
Yeah.